What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video. I appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. As you guys can tell from the thumbnail, today we are going to be working on the Mustang. So today's actually kind of a special day because it's something I've been dreaming about doing for a really long time. And yeah, I can't believe the day's finally here. It's crazy how things play out. It's been something I've been manifesting forever, and yeah, like I said, the day is finally here. So as you guys can tell from the thumbnail, we are going to be adding a new drag pack to the Mustang. Actually, let me flip the camera around and I'm gonna show you guys what's on it now, and then I'll show you guys what we picked up, and hopefully they fit. All right, so for those of you that are new to the channel, this is our 2024 Ford Mustang GT, obviously 5.0, and then this one does have a stage 1 Whipple slapped on it from the dealership, so it does have the warranties and everything. But yeah, this is what we're rolling on right now. These are a set of 20s. I actually bought the car with this today, Junior. I cannot talk today. I actually bought the car with this wheel setup already on it. So right now it is a 305 35 20 in the rear, Nitto NT, what is that, the 555 G2s. Honestly, this tire is not bad, and for the drag setup that we're about to toss on it, this car is not making enough power to justify it, I guess. But I did get a crazy deal on it, so that's why I went ahead and pulled the trigger. Obviously, you guys will see the wheels in a little bit. But yeah, this tire is not bad. I'd say the car right now, it's still on the stage 1 Whipple tune from the dealership. It does have the long tube headers on it as well. So I'd say it's around high 6s, low 7s. And then this one is a manual car as well. I did not opt for the 10-speed just because I do have the F-150, and the F-150 already has a 10-speed in it. So this one we went ahead and just went with the manual configuration, which honestly makes it a blast to drive. But like I was saying, this one does not do bad. I say low rolls, I'd say around 30-40 miles an hour. This thing just spins. It spins its ass off. It's honestly kind of ridiculous that you can buy a car this fast from the dealership. But yeah, if we do like a 55-60 roll, the car hooks up pretty good. I do have to drop the air pressure in the rear to like, let's say 30 PSI, 32, and the car will hook just fine. But like I said, I got a crazy deal on this drag pack, which is why we went ahead and just pulled the trigger. I hope they fit. I've heard this is the biggest tire you can go on a Mustang, and then this one is lowered on Ford Performance lowering springs. So it does sit a little bit lower than your stock height Mustang. So I hope the clearance isn't too bad. But let me run inside real quick, grab the wheels, bring them out here, check them out, and then we'll slap them on and hopefully they fit. Alrighty guys, so without further ado, here is the new drag pack setup for the S650 Mustang. Like I said, these things are absolutely sick. So this is the Weld Laguna, and then obviously you guys can tell it is a beadlock sitting on a 315 50/17. To my understanding, this is the biggest tire you can throw under these cars. Like I said, since the car is lowered on Ford Performance springs, I may need to pick up a Steeda spring spacer, which is a little billet spacer that you can put above the spring that raises the car 3/8 of an inch, I think it is. That way you can go ahead and clear the big drag pack setup. But like I said, these things are super sick. Maybe for the power level I'm at right now, this is completely overkill. But like I said, I got a killer deal on them, which is why I went ahead and pulled the trigger. I did not want to let this deal slide by. Like I said, Marketplace got me. And then I got the other one sitting over here. You can see, I want to say these are a 17x10, and you can just see how much the tire pokes out. But like I said, this thing is absolutely sick. They're super clean. We went ahead and rebalanced them yesterday, being that we work at a tire shop. But yeah, we went ahead and rebalanced them. But yeah, these things are super sick. And then for those of you that have seen the pickup truck, the F-150, this is the exact same wheel I'm running on the back of that truck. So obviously the only difference is this one's beadlocked, the other ones aren't. But those are on a 17x10 as well. But the truck is on a 215 55/17. This is 215 50/17. So hopefully they fit. They do have TPMS sensors in them already, so it shouldn't have the, these guys are over here yelling. It shouldn't have the light on the dash. But yeah, let's get to it. There really isn't anything else to say. Let's get to swapping these out and hopefully they fit. Y'all, look at this car, man. This tire is fat with a capital P, man. But thankfully, we still have, I don't even know what that is, half an inch of clearance. Like I can stick my whole hand in here, which is perfect because then I might not need that spacer. It looks like it's pretty close up here, but the gap back here is pretty decent. So I think when I jacked it up, obviously with the e-brake on, everything is locked up in the rear. But as I drive it, this will center back again. But this thing looks sick. You can see the tire. It's not even poking out as bad as I thought. I thought it was gonna poke out a lot more. But the car does have a little bit of camber in the rear, so that puts it in a little bit. But
hold up, wait a minute.
But you guys can just see the difference. This thing looks absolutely sick. And now on this side, you can see, don't get me wrong, this side looks good too. And it looks good because all these wheels are obviously on this side, the wheels are the same. But I don't know, man, something about the tire poke on this side, it's just crazy. Obviously, I don't plan to sell these wheels at all. So maybe during the winter time or when we're not really racing the car, I'll toss on the other wheels. But yeah, this looks amazing. No rubbing, it fits. It's like I said, 17 by 10 weld Laguna beadlock. Yeah, this thing just looks amazing. Alrighty guys, let me get this car knocked out. We got a flat repair and a rotation to knock out real quick, and then I'll go ahead and toss on the other side and we'll see how the car looks on the ground.
A few inches later.
Alrighty, so we just got the other one tossed on, and I figured before I put it on the ground, I'll show you guys the clearance for those of you that are wondering. So on the caliper, sorry, so let me backtrack. So this one is not the performance pack, so this one does not have the big Brembos in the rear or in the front. So that way I can toss the 17 instead of an 18. For those of you that have the performance packs, you can't go 17, you have to go 18 because of the rear caliper. So this one, like I said, has the smaller calipers, so we're able to go 17. The clearance is very, very minimal, but there is clearance. And then if we get under the car, you can kind of, I'm trying to show you guys, you can kind of see what it looks like up there. Everything clears. It is very close, but it does clear, which is what matters. Up here, it does get very iffy, but same thing, it does fit. But let's go ahead and put this thing on the ground and see how she looks, man, with the full drag pack on. Got a customer pulling up, but yeah. So little update, we went on the first drive and they rubbed pretty decently. You can see how the inside of the fender is cooked, and I didn't even do a pull, I just went around the block, but they do rub. So I am gonna have to order, which I don't know why on the passenger side it didn't touch at all, but I'm assuming that's because obviously I was driving, so I was in the driver's side. But this thing looks so sick. I'm gonna have to order those spring spacers just to go ahead and get them to clear, because I don't want to run a smaller tire just because of how good this thing fits, man. Like, it is completely stuffed under there. But like I said, I do not want to ruin the paint on the car, nor do I want to risk blowing a tire. But I wish I could run them. Like I said, I just really don't want to risk cracking the paint on the fender, but you can see how close that is right there. Let me try to get you guys an angle from the front. That just looks incredibly good, man. So like I said, we are gonna go ahead and get those spacers ordered. I'm gonna toss on the other wheels back on just for now until those spacers come in. But yeah, let's go ahead and get them swapped out really quick. Alrighty guys, and just like that, we got the other wheels and tires on. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get those spacers ordered. You can see how the rubber is just hanging out right there on the end. And like I said, I don't want to risk ruining the paint or cracking a fender or the quarter panel or anything. So we're just gonna go ahead and get those ordered and then obviously toss the drag pack back on. So I will see you guys in a couple days. Well, for you guys, it's gonna be pretty quick, but 1, 2, 3. Alrighty guys, and boom, just like that, it is a week later. I did get ahead of myself, and the these guys. Boom, and just like that guys, it is a week later. The Steeda spacers finally came in. So we just got them installed. It's not too bad of a process, but you can see the spacer installed in there. I want to say that is a 3/8 spacer. But like I said, it's not too bad of a process. You do have to loosen these frame bolts. So it's 1, 2 right here, and then the 213s right there. You have to loosen this brake line, and then these 2 shock bolts, and then obviously this whole side of the suspension kind of just dips down, and then with a little bit of weight on the studs, you're able to pull the shock out of there and then put it in with the new spacer. So we got the spacers installed on both sides, and hopefully it is enough to clear. As you can see right here, this is where it was rubbing, so it wasn't awful, but I don't want to risk cracking the paint or anything, which is why I just haven't been running the wheels. So those are the original wheels, or not the original ones, but those are the wheels that the car came on, and everything fits just fine. Oh, it was a bee. I hate bees, man. And then obviously this is the drag pack. Oh my god. On the 315 50 17. So hopefully they fit, man, because I really don't want to raise the car anymore. So yeah, let's try it out. Let's find out. Boom, and just like that guys, she is all done. We threw the wheels back on. I just got back from going around the block, quick little cruise, and I think we're good to go, man. So if you guys remember earlier in this video, this tire actually right here was rubbing pretty bad in here, and right now it looks like everything clears. So that's obviously amazing, which means we are able to run a 315 5017 in the rear with Ford lowering springs, which is what got this car sitting perfect. But yeah, super stoked about that, guys, because if this didn't work out and the car still rubbed, then I was most likely going to sell this setup or maybe throw it on like a 305. But I really did want to run a 315 just because I know the power number I'm going for on this car. And like I said earlier in the video, I got a killer deal on the drag pack, so I just wanted it all to work. So yeah, thankfully with a 3/8, I want to say it's 3/8, I'll confirm, but 3/8 spacer on the Ford Performance lowering springs is what got this thing sitting perfect. So let me get you guys an angle from this side. Yeah, you can just see it right there. Right there is money. Oh my lord, this thing just looks sick. And then I love how that wheel setup just fills up the whole gap. I don't know what it is, but this thing sits taller on the passenger side. I have no clue why. We double check the spacer and everything, but yeah, look. Oh, let me zoom out. So you can see right here we have maybe almost 2 fingers, and then on the other side we do not have 2 fingers. We have maybe a finger. So I have no clue why on the driver's side the car is sitting lower, but maybe it's just a matter of it, you know, I don't know, just settling a little bit better. Like I said, I did just go around the block, maybe a couple more miles on it, and it'll sit a lot better. But yeah, this thing looks chunky. It looks so good. Alrighty, guys, and with that being said, I think this is where we're gonna go ahead and end this video. Unfortunately, I can't take the car out right now and do any hits on it just because it's so hot. So here in Colorado, we're at 104 right now, which is crazy. So obviously, I don't want to put the car through any stress or anything like that, or end up messing anything up, doing back-to-back hits on the drag pack in 104-degree weather. Like I said, this thing does run pretty hot. Since it's not the performance pack, it doesn't have the oil cooler or anything like that, so oil temps get up there pretty quick. So I think depending on how the weather is tonight, if it's a little bit chilly or at least a bit colder, then obviously we'll take the car out and do a couple hits and see if it hooks on this drag pack now. So definitely stay tuned for that video, guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.